Happy late 4th of July. Hopefully, everyone had a restful or at least a good day. Just an update on how I'm doing currently. Last week, after a after I went to my friend's house for a Bible study, my car actually got towed. It's my fault for parking under the shaded area, which I knew about and then just forgot. And despite him adamantly saying that he's totally willing to get me a ride back to my place and help me get my car the next day, I decided to just the walk the distance. It was about 9 miles or so. I walked into the town or city or whatever. I walked through like an avenue with a ton of students and a bunch of bars, just so I can get to the bank and get some cash to try to get my car back. And in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that long of a walk, and I could have gone the easy way out. I had just my friend who was really willing to get me back and drive me the next day, or I could have Ubered, anything like that. But I just felt like I didn't have much to do, I guess, and figured I might as well. On that note, which is funny enough, on my previous video, I was talking about maybe going back to the plasma stuff since I'm struggling to find work. But my SPE, or serum protein electrophoresis, I think, was too low or out of whack or whatever. I feel like it had something to do with me getting injured or just slowing my recovery than what it should be, as I'm pretty sure my injured knee is like a huge dump of whatever nutrition or protein that they're trying to take out of me. So I don't really want to go back doing that stuff again. However, if I do, I was considering maybe like 1 week on, 1 week off, or every 2 weeks taking a break, something like that. But I'm also still trying to find work and things like that before school starts, and it'll probably be more difficult once that happens, but that's not the point. The thing I wanted to talk about was that 1 week before this walk, I guess, I was actually doing sandbag box squats. My knee feels pretty decent in that partial range of motion, and I figured the blood flow and things like that, I might as well. And as you can see, it actually doesn't take much space in that tiny corner of the room. I think it's less than my outstretched arms, like my wingspan. It's even less space than that. I can get these box squats in, and I definitely feel like just doing those couple sets of box squats. Obviously, the car getting towed was not planned, and the box squats maybe caused a slight amount of fatigue. I was also trying to do some running and track stuff, but I feel like that's probably still too early in my rehab. I have a habit of rushing these things, and I think like 5 or 4 weeks during that time out from the injury. So I'm pushing the pace a bit too quickly on that front, and it's my fault. I should I'm gonna be watching that. But the overall point is that the high rep box squats from the book Sandbag Intensity really helped. Even though the walk wasn't a crazy distance, I was low on food. I ate about in the morning the day before I went to my friend's house for that Bible study, and it was late, and my sleep schedule has always been pretty cooked recently, so I was feeling that fatigue, and I didn't sleep and just walked throughout the night, I guess. So sandbag intensity the sandbag work was just super beneficial in that mindset to not quit, I guess. Similarly, I think the stability work of sandbag lifting helped keep my leg pretty safe throughout the walk. I would have been really disappointed if I managed to hurt myself further doing something that could have completely been avoided, and my friend even offered to help. It would have been really dumb of me if I hurt myself in that process. So, which I didn't, obviously, but I think it's great that the stability factor of sandbag work has also just made it so that I could just brace my leg. And that I was able to just keep it braced without really consciously thinking about it too much, and while pretty heavily fatigued. Obviously, I do a lot of other types of training, and I don't only do sandbag work for my S&C. And while no modality can truly, quote-unquote, bulletproof you from injury, sometimes these things just happen with multitude of stacking factors. I think it's cool that sandbag lifting, even post-injury, is giving me noticeable benefits and results from it. That's still applicable to my day-to-day. Maybe this walk could have been completely avoided, but in terms of me just traversing day-to-day, or when school starts and I'm walking through campus, just that ability to brace my leg for a long time without consciously thinking about it as much provides huge amounts of safety past my injury. Just that ability to brace my leg alone has prevented further injury of my joint, and from what I learned from the doctor or the orthopedic, that my ACL is just non-functional. Any forces, especially like valgus forces, lateral forces that cause knee valgus, could just destroy my leg if I'm not careful, which currently I'm still trying to slowly progress it, build strength, things like that. The sandbag helps me replicate some of those bigger posterior chain type barbell movements that I would usually do in the gym or outside, but now in my room in this compact area. Obviously, I'm still going to the gym when I can, and maybe not exactly patch, but just get in some extras on some things that Sandbags could not necessarily miss, but not emphasize as much. But it has that major stimulus factor that a lot of home training sometimes doesn't get, which I think is extremely beneficial, especially if you need strength in regarding to things like sport, or if you're dealing with injury that require a more robust system to overcome. Sandbags replicate kind of that brute force nature of some of those barbell lifts, like deadlifting heavy or squatting heavy, or I guess overhead pressing as well. Not as much for overhead pressing, but it has more of the raw brute strength factor that lots of home gym stuff just can't really replicate to the same degree. As well as that full body and axial loading type nature of it. That's mostly what I wanted to talk about. It's been some time since I posted a YouTube video. My car being gone and me walking all night has kind of messed up my sleep schedule even more. It's always been pretty broken though, so it's not the huge issue. It's more laziness on my part, as I'm still struggling on Indeed and LinkedIn, trying to find things and getting through my summer classes, things like that. But mainly on me. I can always be working harder and putting more effort in this stuff, trying to increase my level of training, my GPP, my physical preparedness. Obviously, no plans of returning to sport currently, and I'm going to have to take this very slow to make sure I'm ready. I'm not going to rush anything this time. But if anyone has any video ideas that they want me to make, anything like that, just let me know. Hopefully I'll be doing more sandbag training. And obviously I'll be at the gym, at the park, in the fields. Any ideas on what I should work on? Things like that, just let me know. And that should be it from me. Just a quick video of some of these benefits that I found just by bringing back sandbag training around a week before the car tow incident. That's my fault. And just walking to go get it. That's about it. Hopefully people had a good 4th of July. Did something interesting, hopefully. And that's about it.